One by one, the three lands of Middle-earth fell to the power of the ring, but there were some who resisted. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth. Welcome back, Top Table Gamers. We're here with our battle report of The Last Alliance. I'm just going to quickly go over a synopsis of what the actual scenario is. We have the armies of Sauron versus the last alliance of Men and Elves, led by Gil-galad and Elendil. A couple of special rules with this scenario is you've got Sauron doesn't enter the field of play until the fourth movement phase. You've also got every time an orc warrior is slain on a 5-up, on the next turn they come back, and they can either come back at the northern board edge or on either side, depending on where you want to. No good hero models need to take any courage tests to charge Sauron, because it's the last stand of Men and Elves. And the Fall of Kings. If Gil-galad is slain, from that point onwards, Elrond may call heroic strikes without expending might. And if Elendil is slain, from that point onwards, Isildur may call heroic strike without expending any might. So obviously that'll be quite useful if any of the two High Kings die. So the participants in this, on the good side you have Elendil, High King of Gondor and Arnor. You've got Isildur, and then you've got Gil-galad, High King of the Elves, and Elrond, Master of Rivendell. Alongside them we've got 36 warriors of Númenor, 12 with shield, 12 with spear and shield, and 12 with bow. And then 37 High Elf warriors, 12 with spear and shield, 12 with elf bow, 12 with no additional equipment, and 1 banner. The evil side has the Dark Lord Sauron, 4 orc captains with shield, 2 Mordor trolls, 72 Mordor orcs, 24 with shield, 24 with spear, 12 with two-handed weapons, and 12 with orc bows.
Okay, so we're at turn 8 now, and Sauron's finally in combat with Elendil. But the rest of this turn, there's a lot of orcs that have died that are coming back, and there's not many elves or Númenorians left on the board, as you can see. What we have got, however, is the other 3 heroes for good have all managed to get into 1 orc. And heroic combat has been called, and that has been won by the heroes. So they're about to hopefully kill that orc and then move into Sauron, which will give a good chance of saving Elendil, who's on his own against them at the moment. So as expected, the good heroes did manage to kill that single orc, and they've now surrounded Sauron. Sauron unfortunately lost the fight and has taken 7 wounds. Now because of the 1 ring, it means that he gets a save on his last wound of a 2+. That has a couple of dice rolls that have had to go on there, and only one of them was a 1, so Sauron has now used his first point of might in this turn. In case some of you are wondering what happened to the cave trolls, the heroes dispatched them pretty early on. They went straight for the heroes trying to get an easy first score, but that never happened. So the heroes have dealt with them, and now hopefully dealing with Sauron.
Right, so the big combat in the middle, Sauron versus Elrond and Elendil, unfortunately did not end well. Sauron won the fight and with all 4 attacks smacked into Elendil. 3 wounded. Unfortunately, when it came to his fate, I rolled a 1. He'd already spent some might, so unfortunately Elendil has fallen. This obviously now does mean that Isildur gets to strike up for free. And in their fights, Isildur did kill all 3 orcs, and Gil-galad dispatched the 2 orcs that thought that they could take on the High King of the Elves. Alright, and so that goes on now to the next turn. We'll come back when we've done the movement. Right, so we have the next turn, and as you can see, the orcs have got ever closer, and in the middle, Sauron did lose against the 3 heroes that are left. They caused 2 wounds, and as you can see, Sauron's dice roll was Snake Eyes. So he has now expended all his might to make sure that he stays in this fight. Looking around, the elves and the Númenorians are getting a little bit swarmed, so it is looking a little bit of a squeaky time for people, and we'll see what happens as we go forward.
as Sauron is defeated, we've made it look like the orcs are fleeing. Obviously this stuff happened in the game, but we thought it was quite...
Dramatic, thematic?
Yeah, dramatic effect. So as you can see, they're there, and Elrond is doing his best to try and save a crispy Gil-galad, because we all know what happened to Gil-galad in the actual Last Alliance. Isildur takes the chance to cut the ring from Sauron's hand, but doesn't change that part of the timeline. But then what happens next? I think that's the important question now.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Gil-galad would be healed, Elrond being the best healer that there is. And then the elves will probably end up being more vigilant due to Gil-galad not believing for 1 second that the Dark Lord is gone. But going from there, who knows after that?
Fall of the Necromancer, most likely Gil-galad will join in. But as we know, he won't heal overnight, so in that time while he's healing, Isildur still probably gets killed, the ring's lost.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, there's not much of a change, but Gil-galad surviving, the elves still have a high king.
And literally he wouldn't rest. Obviously, comment what you would think would happen. Would Gil-galad be so vigilant, or would he decide, that's it, I've done my bit?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Like and share, and obviously subscribe, because then you can keep up to date as we do future scenarios, because we are going to go through all the scenarios that GW's done, and we're going to go through them in timeline order with this what if, to see who can survive and who would die. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Top Table Gaming.